I've got one here from Hard Rock Forever 2013. Greetings from Lima, Peru. What did you make of the breakthrough of grunge music in the 90s? And did you like any of those bands? And did you use any grunge influences back then?
Well, okay, grunge came along, and I'll remember the day. And when everybody's in what they now call classic rock, but everybody's heart just sunk down and just went, oh, no, that's it for us. Because Nirvana came out and several other Seattle bands and so on. And we knew that there was a big shift now, big shift. We could feel it. So it was, at first, it was really intimidating and disarming because we knew that something was coming that we had no control over at all. And we'd have to struggle in order to keep up with this particular sound. Now, did I like some of the stuff? Absolutely. I mean, I grew up in the 60s and 70s, so I've heard all kinds of styles of music right up into the present. And they all of these styles contribute to music, to the overall sense of where we're going, especially in rock. And I loved Nirvana. I loved the messaging, what they were doing. I loved the simplicity of what he was doing. I loved his arrogance and his attitude. That's what I loved most about grunge, was the attitude. Their attitude was very punk. And I remember hanging out with Johnny Ladd, okay, on Fifth Avenue, drunk as skunks in the middle of the street, cursing at cars. So I was well familiar with like the Sex Pistols and CBGBs and all of that.
When was that?
And,
Just to interject quickly, when was that when we were hanging out with John Lydon?
Oh, geez, I guess it was early 80s or what have you. I remember we got thrown out of the bar. Oh, yeah. He just happened to be in town, I guess, and he was really, back then he was Johnny Lynn, right? Johnny Rotten. And he and I, we hit it off because he was just so arrogant, and I just let it brush off my shoulder, and he says, oh, yeah, that's all right. You're all right, mate, this and that. So we started drinking heavily, and the people around us, and then the management came over and just said, you guys are too much. You're upsetting all the customers. You've got to get out of the bar. And of course, we made a big scene. We ended up in the middle of Fifth Avenue at night, traffic coming both ways, or whatever, one way. And we were just cursing at all the cars. And after that, we ended up in somebody's apartment, and then it all went blank. It was unbelievable. It was unbelievable. So my point was, I'm very familiar with all that. I lived in the East Village, West Village, so I was familiar with the little clubs, Orleans Grocery and everything, where all these bands played. And I'd go out to see them. I mean, it was great. The Ramones, come on. I'd always go to a Ramones show. So, yeah, I loved a lot of the grunge, especially when you had your Alice in Chains, and that kind of stuff. And I guess Velvet Revolver was kind of grunge. I mean, it started to change a bit too, grunge. It wasn't just Pearl Jam or what have you. It started to alter, like SDP and things like that. So there was a lot to choose from there.
Yeah.
But did I ever incorporate that grunge? No, I think just the attitude is what you incorporate. You take that angst, and that vibe that they give you, and then you put it into music that way.